Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Monday morning to you all. I hope you guys are doing well and feeling well out there on this Monday morning and having a great start to your week and a great start to your month. Happy May to everybody. I appreciate the amazing support in the month of April, by far the most successful April for my channel that I've ever had. So I really appreciate any new subscribers I got in April and just the growth in general. I really do appreciate that. So I wanted to throw that out there right in the beginning. Appreciate the support and the feedback from yesterday's chase. I have not had a chance to acknowledge really any comments from yesterday, and I'll do that as I can get a little bit caught up from work a little bit later this afternoon. I'll answer comments from this video, and then for yesterday's event, if you see me looking down some, my cat just hopped on my lap, and she gets really mad if I don't pet her. She'll try to nibble my fingers right where my hand is on my mouse. So that's her way of telling me to pet her, is to bite the crap out my thumb. So, but anyways, we're here to talk a little bit of weather. Unfortunately for you warm weather fans, it looks like we're gonna have a cold start to May. So you're gonna have a little bit of a hard time to get your pools to warm up, the lakes, things like that. It's definitely gonna be delayed somewhat for the first week of May, as we're gonna have some pretty chilly mornings, even for the South. But I do not see us having any kind of big time frost or freeze risk for here in the South. Now, a little bit further north, even you guys, I don't really see any kind of widespread freezes or anything like that. This is kind of one of those setups where it's going to be just chilly during the day, but the low time temperatures aren't going to drop super low, like into the 20s or really low 30s or anything. So nothing to worry about with that. But there's two areas I'm watching. One area, it's snowing like crazy right now. Another area is West Virginia, where a northwest flow event will kick up. Those higher elevations, like over 4,000 feet, could get as over a foot of snow on May. If it was April 1st, I would say, hey, okay, this happens. May 1st, pretty wild to see. So we're going to break it down for you folks. If you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. And if you guys got anything that I can pray about or pray over, as always, please put it in the comments below so I can do that and so others can do it too. So water vapor loop out here. A dry, stable air is now dominating most of the country as this cold front has pushed through. You had this pesky low pressure that is kind of blocked in this region, and this blocking pattern that is setting up currently will actually help prevent any kind of big time severe weather events. It was a very active week. Every single day had a severe weather episode, and some days, not just one area but two areas. In fact, most areas had like a bimodal severe weather threat, geographically speaking. But this pesky low right here is kind of trapped, but it'll eventually get on out of here. But this is promoting a lot of snow for areas of the UP of Michigan and Wisconsin. Eventually some snow showers could mix with the rain here into the Ohio Valley, but we'll watch this northwest flow that really kicks in West Virginia and really promotes a heavy snow events, a prolonged snow events for the higher elevations of West Virginia, not the entire state by any means. There was some snow reported last night. It was confirmed in the higher elevations of North Carolina. Pretty wild. Watches and warnings. Winter storm warnings up for several counties in the UP of Michigan, a few counties in Wisconsin. We'll get a little bit more detail on this here in a second. But if you look right here, a few counties in West Virginia have winter storm warnings. And then some winter weather advisories up here also. So pretty wild to see. You got some wind advisories. It's going to be very breezy, not just for the mountainous regions, but for a lot of areas in the eastern U.S. today. The Southeast, we'll kind of work through this kind of quick through the Southeast, because there's really only isolated areas, meaning very smaller areas, that are going to be heavily impacted by weather today, I guess you would say, and that would be some heavy snow. But, we'll start off this afternoon for the Southeast. Not a whole lot going on except this wraparound northwest flow moisture wrapping around this low pressure, moving in from the northwest, moving southeast. I could see some storms trying to fire up here in the Delmarva, kind of the waterways of Maryland today. We had very unfortunate news in Virginia Beach, where we were just mere miles away from going tornado free yesterday, but a tornado formed right before the energy moved offshore. So unfortunately, we had a tornado literally right, I wouldn't say it was on the coast, it's the more the higher populated areas. So unfortunately, it hit a lot of houses, larger houses, did a lot of damage, took the second level clear off some of these houses. I heard about one death. They literally had to pull somebody out of the water that I think, I don't know, maybe got thrown into the water, but I'm hearing of a death. So definitely praying for you folks up there. Hope you guys are doing okay up there this morning. And just let me know if you got any details. I know I got some viewers from the Southeast Virginia area, so let me know what you're seeing and what you're hearing up there. But very unfortunate, because that storm, it was so close. I mean, it just had to drop a tornado right before it got over the waters. If it would happen over the waters, then obviously it would have just irritated the fish out there in the ocean. But yeah, very unfortunate. But anyways, some heavier showers, maybe a storm. These could produce a little bit of small hail. There's not even a general risk in this region, but definitely not a severe weather threat by any means. But you see the snow kicking up. We'll talk about that here in a second. Rest of the Southeast, pretty calm today. Nothing to really speak on at all, as dry, stable air dominates the atmosphere. Now, we got the low pressure up here in the Northeast. This is continuing to spin around. It doesn't really have anywhere to go. So, you're dealing with some rain this morning in Maine, some heavier rain too. This will clear out by about midday, but then even more wraparound moisture will surge in Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York State for sure. All of New England will get these little pockets of showers. And like I said, cold air aloft, some of these heavier downpours, and it won't really even be a storm. Some of them can produce some gusty winds and some small hail. Don't be surprised one bit if you see ice falling from the sky here in New York State today, Vermont, New Hampshire. Don't be surprised one bit. I could definitely see these producing some small hail, and it could mix in with just grapple or some snow, especially in these higher elevations. But these continue throughout the evening, and they might diminish overnight tonight. Could be doing it around the Long Island, kind of southern New England regions. But this is when that snow kicks in down here. I mean, even some snow mixing in here in northwest Pennsylvania. You got some rain mixing in with some snow, and you could have some snowy conditions. And snowy not in like an accumulating snow, but could be waking up to some light snow in areas of Pennsylvania, especially the western portion of the state for tomorrow. But like I said, you got 3 counties, I believe that's 3 counties in West Virginia that have winter storm warnings up, and a winter weather advisory for the western half of 1 county in Virginia, where you got some higher elevations in this region. But northwest flow is about to kick in. Over a foot of snow is possible. It's going to be pretty wild. There's some storm chasers going up there to check it out. You could pretty much call this a rare event. But you start up off about midday. You'll have some rain and snow mix, but I really think as we get into the late evening hours, this is when you get a real big time moist flow that comes in from the northwest, and it's raining in the lower elevations, but you go a few thousand feet up, it's snowing like crazy, heavy, wet snow. Now this will have a hard time, it's not going to rapidly accumulate, but it's a long duration event, and eventually it'll cool these surface temperatures down, these soil temperatures down enough to steadily accumulate. And this will continue. We'll get all the way into sunrise tomorrow. It's still snowing. It's even showing snow in the hills of Pennsylvania and the mountainous regions of far western Maryland. Okay, and this continues. Snow. I mean, we're getting all the way to tomorrow afternoon, and maybe another round as we're getting into overnight tomorrow night. And this is as far out as the HRRR model goes, and it's still snowing in certain areas of the higher elevations of West Virginia. Even some rain snow mix into Pennsylvania at 2 a.m. Wednesday morning. Snowfall with this event, so these pinks, guys, I mean, that's areas over a foot of snow. And even a few inches of snow are possible in these hilly regions. I always forget what these hills are called in southwest Pennsylvania, so let me know in the comments. But, western Maryland, where these higher mountains are, higher hills, a couple inches of snow is possible. Somebody could squeak in 4 to 6 inches of snow in some of these areas. But once you get into West Virginia mountains, 4,000 feet up, 4,500 feet up, several inches of snow is possible. Over a foot. Someone can get a foot and a half of snow. And this is really a blurry image. And this was put up about 12, 13 hours ago from the National Weather Service in Charleston, West Virginia. But going for 14 inches of snow in Snowshoe. This might update here in a couple hours. But not just that. And one thing I don't have pulled up a graphic, but this is going to be very windy across the eastern U.S. today. 30 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts are possible. Will develop. I had a little piece of hair in my mouth from probably the cat being all in my face, but 30 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts are really going to kick up this afternoon. It's going to become very breezy for a lot of people in the eastern U.S. today. But, hey, if you want some crazy late season, see some crazy late season snow, and you got raw from snow throughout the winter, hey, go get you some May 1st, May 2nd, May 3rd snow up in West Virginia. South Central U.S., very quiet and stable air. Nothing to really speak on. Maybe some beneficial rain showers sneak into far southwest Texas. Outside of that, nothing. Nothing to really talk on. Sorry to only give you guys 15 seconds of fame, but there's just not much to talk on for you folks. Winter storm warnings up for several counties in the UP and Michigan, especially the northern sections of the UP and Michigan, kind of more so bordering closer to Lake Superior. 3 counties, winter storm warnings up for Wisconsin. And we look at the radar right now, and it's snowing in Green Bay. It's probably going to have a hard time accumulating, but it's snowing as far south as northern areas in Milwaukee. You got just a steady streamer from the north to the south. Pretty impressive setup today, guys, where there's just enough cold air, just enough heavy precipitation where this is falling as snow. It'll be snowing in the 30s. It's not like you have snow falling in the teens and 20s or anything. But pretty wild to see. This is a late season event. And you look at the radar, it'll continue. Take it all the way to the morning hours. You're getting all the way to that noontime. This will, the more it lightens up, the more it'll kind of switch back to rain. But you're going to be dealing with all snow right here in the central to western areas of the UP. Could mix with some snow even in the eastern areas of the UP. But even looking at this region right here, kind of this area right here in northwest Michigan, rain is beginning to mix with snow this afternoon. Then you get into this evening, low pressure just continues to kind of float back into the region. This will enhance more snow overnight tonight for the UP. It just continues the snow all the way into tomorrow. You're waking up with more snow falling, and it just continues to spin around out here. It's pretty wild to see this. And then we get into tomorrow, but snowfall between now and 8 p.m. Tuesday Central Time. Republic, 10 to 18 inches of snow. Marquette, 5 to 13 inches of snow. But you got this town right here. What is this called? You guys let me know. Munising. Guys, I'm terrible with pronouncing some of these names. But 1 to 11 inches of snow. What a forecast. That tells you how hard it is to forecast wet snow. So, it's a tough one. Let me know what you guys see up here. I know I got a few viewers from the UP, a few viewers that, that comments every day, and I really appreciate y'all. But it's very windy up here, 35, 50 mile per hour winds from the National Weather Service. This upgrade came out less than an hour ago, too, so this is the latest information. But let me get rid of this. But, down here a little bit further south in Michigan, Cadillac, Michigan, 1 to 2 inches of snow is possible. So you could get some accumulating snow down here south of the UP also. Okay, so 30, 35 mile per hour wind gusts are possible. I really think that some of this rain will really switch to snow a little bit later this afternoon in these regions. So a more broad look at this, weird cutoff right in here. But a couple inches could continue to fall here in Green Bay, and then a couple inches are possible here in northwest Michigan, but really the UP into areas of Wisconsin is really going to get slammed throughout the next 24 hours. Pretty wild to see. Temperatures today, dang, I just noticed I've whipped through this pretty quick. A nice day in the south, 60s, 70s, but that's below average for this time of the year. May 1st, we typically begin to see widespread 80s in the south. It's going to feel more like, I would say, April 1st rather than May 1st today. But it'll still be pleasant. It's kind of chilly out there for a lot of folks this morning in the south. But by the time you get into the afternoon, that high sun angle that we see in May and just the bright sunshine will make it feel warmer than what it actually is. But it's not going to feel like that in the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast, and the Great Lakes region. 40s, even just some 30s for high temperatures. Miserable start to May up here for sure. And I mean, as soon as you get in these higher elevations, if you're traveling north up 77 today, for example, Columbia, Charlotte, nice. But once you start to get in these higher elevations of West Virginia and Virginia, it immediately switches into a different air mass. And so definitely if you're traveling north today, wear some gear that keeps you warm. But that's all I got. not going to really speak on what's going forward. We'll kind of give you a video on that tonight, but you know, we're gonna enter a period, guys, where I might kind of let off the gas for the 2-a-day videos. You know, there just might not be a whole lot to talk about, but I have a goal set for each slow month of the summer, and I'm gonna try to hit that goal, and I'm gonna keep that personal. But it's honestly not a big deal. But I just have some goals as far as views, how many subscribers I can get in each month over the next 3 months. But at the same time, it's okay to let off the gas, and I try to tell myself that because it's hard to wind down from them busy months and wind down during the summer. I had a really hard time doing that last year when we had the crazy growth on the channel with January and February being very active, and it was really hard to wind down. So I feel like I'm in a much better place this time to kind of just let off the gas with the 2-a-day videos and just enjoy the summer with the girls, so, and my family. So thank y'all for the amazing support, and appreciate y'all for the great month of April. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Try to make the most of it, even if it's Monday and it's very cold for your location. But God bless all y'all. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.